Here's the blitz again. Franco gets it to Hodgson. Hodgson tries to break to the outside, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it before he's stopped by Jamie Chapman.
It's going to set up now a 3rd and 10 from the 35-yard line, as we're probably in 4-down territory for the Toppers. Hodgson doing a good job of getting those 5 yards out of the play, and they got 2 more plays to get these final 10 for a 1st down. Big time here for the Marauder defense to step up and try to get this ball back. They want to stop the bleeding so they can give their offense a chance to get themselves back into the game.
Division 4 semifinals today. It's been all Somersworth so far. 3rd down and 9 for the Toppers. Francor. Good job by Larry Francor as Hanover's been jumping and showing the blitz, and Francor just decided to bark a few times and pull him offside, and he did it.
That'll definitely make the job a lot easier for Somersworth, because now instead of a 3rd and 10, we're going to have a 3rd and 5. And instead of thinking about getting a 1st down on 2 plays, they can think about getting it on 1 play. And like you said, good job of using that cadence there by the quarterback, Francor, for Somersworth.
Jim Keys talks with his quarterback. Keys, the 9th-year head coach of this Topper program, and a lot of success here in the Hilltop City for that coach and these young men from Somersworth High. Now on 3rd and 5, Francor keeps it himself, trying to get to the sticks. It will be close.
Little quarterback draw right there, but he's not able to get quite to the line, to the 1st down marker, it looks like. But it may depend on the spot. Actually, it's closer than I thought it was, and probably bring the chains in right here.
All right. Nope, they're gonna
fourth
say
down.
Less than a yard, Ben. And I would expect Francor to probably keep it himself again. Although the gap blitz is on now for Hanover. They will fill all the gaps. 4th and inches. Lambert, 1st down and more. Lambert's over the 20 all the way down to the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 Somersworth. Lead blocker was Nate Durow.
Nice job there as he just kept those legs pumping away. He got to the 1st down marker and just kept moving and moving and moving and worked the ball inside the 20-yard line. Just continually punishing that Marauder line, defensive line. 1st and 10 now for Somersworth from the 18-yard line or so. Clock now at 5:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Somersworth with a 28-0 lead.
Back to their power I formation go the Toppers. They send Ryan Francor in motion. They give it to Hodgson. Hodgson gets to the linebacker, number 64, Dixon Vestal, and he stands up Hodgson. Nice tackle by Dixon Vestal that time.
Able to get a tough 3 yards on the play, setting up at 2nd and 7 now from the 16, as we're just going to continually see Somersworth just keep pounding the ball away, keep running time off the clock, giving Somersworth less time to try to pose any sort of comeback, and at the same time probably putting some more points on the board to further distance themselves from their rivals from up north.
Dallas Hood is in on defense, number 32 for Hanover, on the 2nd down and 7. Outside goes Francor. Ryan Francor gets down to the, let's put it at the 13-yard line. He'll be shy of a 1st down by about 5 yards. Somersworth looking for their 5th touchdown of the afternoon right now. The Toppers have scored by the run, by the pass, and by the fumble recovery so far today. Team comes to the line, and the tailback in that power I is Ryan Francor. Larry Francor over the ball. Hodgson runs right into the middle of the Hanover line. That was a nice defensive play by number 35, Rob Plamondon, for Hanover.
Brought him right down, but sort of helped Hodgson out a little bit by throwing him down for about another yard gain or so. So we're going to have a 4th down now and 1 for the Toppers, as they will probably go for it again here as the ball sits on the 11-yard line.
No surprise that Hodgson is the tailback in the eye now. Look for the senior to get the ball. It's money time, 4th down and 1. He gets the call, drives toward the sticks. Looks like he's got it. Will depend on the spot.
As Hudson got closer to where the first down marker was, he stuck the ball out in front of him to try to reach out an extra yard or two.
Didn't make it, Ben.
Yeah, it was going to come down to the spot, and as you saw, they didn't give him a good one. And another turnover of downs here deep in Hanover territory. The Marauders now have a 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line.
If there's been a positive to the Hanover game, is they've stopped Somersworth twice in the red zone today. But that's little consolation when you're down 28-0, 3:24 to go in the third period.
Yeah, that first quarter really set the tone of the day for Hanover and Somersworth. 21-0 at the end of one.
Crimmins off tackle to Salvatoriello. He gets over the 10-yard line to the 13. Ryan Francor on the stop.
Tough 3 yards on the play, setting up a 2nd and 8 or so, excuse me. And we'll probably have to see Hanover start throwing the ball a little bit more here if they want to give themselves a chance to get back into this one, as the clock definitely is not their friend with under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, down by 28 points.
Grinded out drives is not the name of the game right now, as Hanover's on the verge of ending their season and Somersworth will be looking toward a Division IV final. Crimmins, quick pass over the middle. His back went left, he threw right, incomplete.
Yeah, he had a passing lane to throw to, and unfortunately his receiver had already gone by it, and there just wasn't any other room for him to throw, as there was some good push by the Somersworth line, getting their hands up and standing people up. So good defensive play there, setting up a 3rd and 9 now for Hanover.
Hanover needs a big play right now. Salvatoriello, the tailback in the eye. Dallas Hood no longer in the backfield. The quick pass goes to Kola. Kola gets only back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Sure-handed tackle by Larry Francor. Also helping out was Jason Lambert.
Tough play right there for Hanover as they try to get the quick pass, but Somersworth was ready for it, as there were 3 toppers surrounding the area where the ball was to be caught, and they dropped him after a little gain, and the Marauders forced a punt here. Clock moving with 2:05 to go in the third.
Hood will kick from his own goal line. Gets a good snap, but we have whistles. And we'll do it again. Somersworth may have lined up offside.
Interesting to see which direction this goes, because maybe if it gets not delay again,
no, go the other
false
way.
start. False start by the Marauders. Now it'll set up a 4th and 13 from inside the 10-yard line. Does not help the punting situation at all, because any sort of high snap could easily go out of the end zone and get the Toppers 2 more points.
On the sideline, Coach Jim Keys has yelled out to Scott Hodgson that the reverse is going to be the wall is going to be on the near side of the field. The kick by Hood goes to Hodgson. Hodgson sends to the other side of the field. There's a fumble on the play. It's up for grabs. And Hanover says they have the ball.
I think Francor was able to snag it away, but he's surrounded by Hanover players that might have stripped it back from him. It's going to be interesting to see who wins this battle under the pile. Hodgson might have been, well, yeah, Francor did pick it back up. It might have been to Hodgson's best interest to maybe let Francor get in front of him to set up some sort of block. Instead, he just charged ahead and got the ball stripped from him. But the Topper is fortunate in getting the ball back. And Somersworth now will have a 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of the Marauders. Clock with 1:39 to go now in the third.
$28-0 our score. Somersworth dodges a bullet right there, as the fumble would have given Hanover field position at midfield. But now the Topper offense can go to work. Somersworth drove down inside the 15-yard line on their last series, but couldn't push it in. We've had a scoreless third period, which is a surprise to many here at Somersworth High School today. Ryan Francor gets the call. He gets over the 45 to the 44-yard line. Tackled by Mike Sutton for Hanover.
Good job of keeping his balance enough. He was able to turn his back around, fall backwards for another yard or so. Be a 2nd and 8 for the Toppers as they've worked the ball inside the 45-yard line.
Winner of today's game will take on the winner of St. Thomas and Bishop Brady next Saturday afternoon. Word from Dover Point is that St. Thomas was shutting out Brady at halftime. Off-tackle run by Jesse Demers, and Demers goes nowhere as Alex Gorman makes the stop.
Yeah, dropped him for a 2-yard loss, setting up a 3rd and 10 now for Somersworth. Hanover defense has actually done a pretty good job since that second offensive touchdown scored by Somersworth. That made it 14-0. The 3rd touchdown came on a Somersworth fumble recovery for a touchdown. Oops, excuse me, sir.
I was going to say Topper's moving against the wind bend, so
right.
On this 3rd and 11, let's see if Francor's arm is to the task. He will pass. Looking to set up the screen. He's got a man out there at Hodgson. Hodgson at midfield, but he won't get by Dallas Hood.
Just able to get back to the line of scrimmage there, so we're going to have a 4th and 10, 4th and 11. Somersworth will punt the ball and try to pin the Marauders down in deep, and at least make it a very long way for them to go to try to get any points on the board.
And the Toppers call timeout. Check that. End of the 3rd quarter.
Well, that was quick.
Every quick 3rd quarter here at Somersworth High, but a scoreless 3rd quarter, Ben, as our score at halftime was 28-0, and that's where we stand right now.
Yeah, first scoreless quarter of the game, and in the first half, it looked like the second quarter might be a shutout quarter too, but the Somersworth was able to score with 16 seconds left. But the Toppers now are just doing what they want to do. They just want to keep taking time off the clock, and I mean, just like that, those 12 minutes of the 3rd quarter are gone, and Hanover finds themselves with 12 minutes left to try to score at least 28 points if they want to send this game into any sort of overtime situation or try to win. Very tough task ahead, though, for a team that on average has only scored 17 points a game.
So the teams will change ends right now and get ready for the 4th and final 12 minutes in this one. Unless Hanover can pull the miraculous comeback right here, Somersworth is on its way for another game next Saturday, which for a man will probably want to be against St. Thomas Aquinas, the only team to have defeated the Toppers this year. On the punt, Turgeon's kick is a nice one. Comes down to Hood at the 7. He calls a fair catch. So Hanover will start 93 yards away from the goal line on this series.
Yeah, tough place to be starting if you're the Marauders inside the 10-yard line with 93 yards to go or so. Actually, no, I guess it's outside the 10. So it's being marked at about the 11 or 12. But with nearly 90 yards to go for a touchdown and down by 28. 11:54 to go here in the 4th period. Somersworth rushing to try to get somebody on the field to make it 11 up.
1st down and 10 for Hanover. Crimmins, Salvatoriello. Oh, no room there to run on the end as Jeremy Lambert rips him down.
Gets about a 1-yard gain, he does, setting up now a 2nd and 9 from the 15. Just good job once again by the Somersworth defense to stop the running attack for little gain.
And Somersworth will send 8-9 men within 5 yards of the ball. No one playing pass on this Somersworth defense right now. Crimmins goes to the air. It's blocked. It's tipped. And Lambert and Francor hit the dirt trying to make that diving interception, but it just was not to be.
Yeah, it got tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Jason Lambert went diving out to try to finish off the interception. Good job, though, by Somersworth getting the hands up, deflecting the pass away, as it looked like there might have been something there developing for the Marauder offense, but it was not to be. 3rd and 9 now from the 15. Clock is stopped with the incompletion. 11:12 to go in the 4th.
Split ends now for Hanover as it's 3rd and long. Crimmins on the option, pitches to Salvatoriello, and oh, Lambert is in the backfield. And he makes the shoestring tackle and Hanover will be kicking from their end zone.
Yeah, that play just was doomed from the beginning as they got the ball off to Sabateliello, but Somersworth defense was right there to stuff it immediately for an 8 or 10-yard loss. 4th and 18 now, and the punter is going to have to do so from deep inside the end zone. It's going to be a tough job for Dallas Wood.
Oh, high snap to Hood. He goes up and gets it. Gets off a nice kick. And a fair catch called for by Ryan Francor.
Yep.
And Hanover's had awful field position all day, and Somersworth's had great field position all day.
Yeah, especially now in this second half, where excuse me, where Hanover's really had to start with the ball down deep into their end zone, and now they have to kick into the wind on these punts. And Somersworth now able to start the ball inside Hanover's 40-yard line for 1st and 10. They'll get the ball with 10:28 to go here in the 4th quarter. As right now, when they look up at the clock, they see that's how far away they have to get to the state championship game next Saturday.
Run, run, and more run for Somersworth. And as I say that, Franco is going to go for it all. And he's got a man out there, and it's going to be a touchdown to Jesse Demers. 6 points, Toppers. It's 34-0.
Great play call because, like you said, Hanover's probably looking for the run. And some people might wonder at this point if that just might be running up the score, but really you have to think about what's going on next week. This is a great time maybe for Somersworth to try to work on a couple plays that they might hope to be successful against probably St. Thomas. So give them a little extra work on certain plays, and the extra point is up, and it's good. So 35-0 now, as that's the first touchdown, first points of any kind scored here in the second half, and Somersworth with a very commanding 35-0 lead in this Division IV semifinal game from Somersworth High School.
Well, I'm just continued at my defensive coordinator skills. As I say that they're about to run, Franco goes back to pass and scores that big touchdown pass to Jesse Demers. It was perfectly run and set up by the Toppers right there.
It was very well executed. Pass went right down the field and right into the arms of the waiting receiver, who was able to take it right in without anybody impeding him.
You had that for how many yards, Ben?
40.
40-yard touchdown pass. And that is Francor's first touchdown pass of the day. Franco has scored 2 other touchdowns today on a 1-yard run, and he was a pass receiver from Scott Hodgson for a 32-yard touchdown earlier in the game. But now it's 35-0, and now the talk is going to turn, I should say, to Division IV final a week from today.
Yeah, 10-21 away now from being able to go back and try to defend their state title, and they'd love for it to be against the St. Thomas Saints. Try to avenge that earlier loss of the year, 21-20.
Gagnon's kick comes down to Salvatoriello. He's at the 15, 20, gets to the 25, tries to get to the sideline, and good kick coverage by Somersworth, and the final tackle made by Matt Wilder.
Sabateliello's had some pretty decent kickoff returns today. Right now we see a St. Thomas players down.
You get St. Thomas on the brain, big guy.
Oh yeah, well it's like maybe it's that blue thing now. You know, we're already thinking ahead to next week. But Somersworth player down there on the ground, and
for people who didn't get to witness or see that Somersworth St. Thomas game, it was won in overtime on a 2-point conversion. Teams were tied at the end of regulation. They went into overtime. Somersworth scored, kicked the extra point. St. Thomas scored, went for 2. A pass play into the end zone gave it to the Saints, and you know that whole story over there in Dover with Rod Watton coming into the St. Thomas program and going from an 0-9 season to a 9-0, from last to best. It's quite a story.
Yeah, it's not surprising. He had so much success when he coached over at Marshwood High School in Maine, and when I was going to high school over there, they were Class C school, won state championship at C, and then went up to B, state championship, and then the first year in Class A he ran the table for state championship. Now he's come over across the river to St. Thomas and is turning the Saints into the same type of successful program. He knows his football, And right now, it looks like we're shaping up for what will be a great rematch next week in the state championship game between Somersworth and St. Thomas if St. Thomas is able to hold on against Bishop Brady this afternoon.
But when it comes to football tradition, there are no stronger places in the state than right here in Somersworth. 164 victories over the last 25 years, and they'll have another one today. Cola, gang tackled by blue shirts. LaChance is there, Hodgson is there, Francoeur is there, as well as Wilder.
Just right now, Somersworth is hitting the ball carriers very hard. They're not letting up at all. Not only are they a few minutes away from getting back to the state championship game, they would love to be able to do it with a shutout.
First team defense still in there for the Toppers right now. 35-0 the score. Salvatoriello on the counter. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Couple of tough yards, and that's it.
It really looks like, as well as the Somersworth defense has been playing today, it looks like they've really turned up the intensity. Whether it be they're going for the shutout or maybe that big pass play for 40 yards for a touchdown really even gave them a further spark. Just some great defense now being played. A short 1-yard gain there. 39 now from the 31.
9 minutes left to go here in this one. 35-0 the score. Hanover's faced with a 3rd down and 7. The ball at the 30-yard line, their own 30. They have had only a couple of excursions in the Somersworth territory today. Crimmins under pressure. Tucks the ball in, and he's thrown for another loss. Nate DeRoe is there, Wilder is there, and also Jeremy Lambert.
5th sack today for the Somersworth defense, and that's for a 6-yard loss. Now we'll have a 3rd and 14.
For Hanover, down 35-0. I guess you could even go for it here. I don't know if you want to kick again. They will. But again, we've seen fake punts by the Marauders already today. Let's see if the snap goes to Crimmins. It goes to Hood. And he'll kick the ball away, and he'll kick the ball out of bounds.
I thought I had that one, Sam.
Officials will line it up, and let's see where the official will stop. 45-yard line of Hanover. And we see some clean shirts in there for Somersworth right now, and the starters are out.
Yeah, right now with a 35-0 lead, it's a commanding lead. And now give a chance for some of the younger players to get in and taste a little bit of some playoff action, so it won't be such a shock to them later if they have to get pressed into any sort of situation against St. Thomas.